Hello and welcome to I've Seen Everything, where the name is ironic and the reactions are... Hello everyone, my name's Andrew and I'm glad to have you here today. It is a special day. We have finally arrived at Indiana Jones Day. It's a national holiday, don't you know? The day that we begin the Indiana Jones franchise on this channel. This is a favorite movie, Raiders of the Lost Ark. I am a big fan of the Indiana Jones franchise, but I have a strange history with the Indiana Jones franchise. I grew up watching it, and I did not. Allow me to explain. If I had to pick one of the Indiana Jones movies that I watched the most growing up, it was Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. We had it on video at home. I watched it on a regular basis. I knew that movie backward and forward. I still probably know that movie backward and forward. I grew up watching Temple of Doom. We didn't own it, but we had movie channels. It came on every so often. I happened to watch it every so often. And that was kind of it. Like, I was an 80s kid, and those were the only two Indiana Jones movies I was familiar with. And then I kind of fell away from watching them for quite a while, until Kingdom of the Crystal Skull came out. I know everyone has their feelings about Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, and we'll get there. Trust me. That'll be an interesting conversation. We're here to watch Raiders of the Lost Ark today. I did not see this movie until after I saw Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. So this is a very weird way to grow up with the Indiana Jones franchise. But then, after that, I became a huge fan of everything to do with Indiana Jones, at least as far as original stories. Watched the whole Young Indiana Jones TV series, read the entire prequel book series, all the comic books I could get my hands on, all the video games that told an original Indiana Jones story. Shout out to Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis. Then, of course, Dial of Destiny, and now here we are. But anyway, we've talked enough about enough Indiana Jones stuff. I don't know how much I've had to cut out of this intro just to get it down to a reasonable length, but we need to get started. Before we hit play, I just want to remind everybody, go have a look over at the Patreon. Everything as of the recording of this video is still free. The full-length reaction to this movie will be over there. Other full-length reactions are over there, including exclusive full-length reactions. I really hope you'll go over there and have a look. And if you would please be so kind as to remember to hit the like and subscribe buttons down here, click the bell so you can see when I'm putting out new videos. And that is it. Let's move on to the movie, Raiders of the Lost Ark, or Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark. Here we go. And so it begins, the Indiana Jones franchise. Paramount Pictures. Which, from what I understand, is why the Indiana Jones movies keep getting taken off of Disney+. I mean, it seemed like an extreme reaction just to a statue, but maybe like an evil spirit or something.
If they knew we were here, they would have killed us already.
I can't remember for sure. I know Alfred Molina's character doesn't make it. I think this guy goes too. I think pretty much everyone, except Indy. It's South America, 1936. I wonder why they told the stories out of order. I mean, it's just a year that they've declared that it is, but Temple of Doom takes place 2 years before this. First time we see the whip. I wonder what people thought when they first saw that, because some people might be able to think it's a little silly, but it makes a statement, that's for sure. It's not something you expect to see someone carrying around.
A friend of yours? A competitor. He was good.
Belloc. I didn't remember that he saw signs of someone else looking for looking for what he's looking for. I wonder if he knows it's Belloc at this point. I don't know if they'd done all of the Star Wars movies by this point, like the original trilogy. They snuck up on them fast. Yeah, these movies do a good job of freaking you out if you're scared of any kind of creepy crawly things, like just bugs or snakes or anything like it. Of course, snakes when it comes to Indy. Oh, so that's the competitor he was talking about. So he doesn't know about Belloc on his trail yet. It's really hard to know what to say about such iconic scenes. this franchise, but especially this movie, set the tone for an entire new generation of adventure movies. Watching this, thinking of the Lego Indiana Jones version of this. Those were fun games. That was pretty quick, Indy, but obviously not quick enough. Or you were a little off on your measurement there. Yeah, I think when everything starts falling apart like that, time to run.
Throw me the idol. No time to argue.
What a scumbag.
Give me the whip. Adios, senor.
Yeah, for all the good it did him. Yep, again, didn't make it that far. This whole sequence, there's got to be like 4 or 5 different just purely iconic adventure moments in this sequence. That obviously being a huge one.
Dr. Jones, there is nothing you can possess which I cannot take away.
Yeah, I think you might be outnumbered there. And not to complain, those are some fake-looking spider webs.
Too bad the Jovitos don't know you the way I do.
Yes, too bad. You could warn them, if only you spoke Jovitos.
Oh, so he must have told them that they were recovering it because it's a sacred idol, but obviously he has no intention of returning it to them. Yep, time to get to the plane, Indy. Yeah, let go of the fishing rod. Your passenger has an entire tribe chasing him. I forgot about his Tarzan moment. Not exactly as graceful as he would have hoped. I mean, I'm sure they got some good archers in that tribe, but that's a tough shot on a moving plane.
Neo, meaning new, and lithic, meaning stone. All right, let's get back to this site. 13 Barrow near Hazleton.
See, again, this kind of contrast of this character. If they had started with this version of Dr. Jones, this is not somebody you would have ever believed that you would have seen fighting off a tribe and diving deep into some remote temple or something.
Chamber and the grave goods that were found in another...
That's an interesting strategy. How did you guys end up together? Well, I wrote "love you" on my eyelids, and then my professor decided to date his student.
I got these pieces. They're good pieces, Marcus. Look.
Indiana. Yes, the museum will buy them as usual. No questions asked. Yes, they are nice.
The Indiana Jones movies do ring a bit different now, with some of the stuff that people have started to understand about items being stolen from cultures to be put in museums. I didn't think about it. That whole idol sequence in the beginning feels a bit different under that context.
You must understand that this is all strictly confidential.
I understand.
I thought I recognized that guy. The guy on the left, the one not wearing the bow tie, he was in Batman. He was the corrupt cop, 89 Batman.
Hitler's a nut on the subject. He's obsessed with the occult.
He was somewhat obsessed with the occult, that's for sure. I thought the Ark of the Covenant...
The chest the Hebrews used to carry around the 10 Commandments.
Yeah.
What do you mean commandments? You're talking about the 10 Commandments?
Yes, the...
Okay, so it's a Hebrew artifact, so why... It said the staff of Ra. Why would it be... I mean, I guess it's in Egypt.
An Egyptian pharaoh invaded the city of Jerusalem. He may have taken the ark back to the city of Tanis.
So if I, as is usual, if I just shut up and watch, they explain exactly what I was just talking about.
Ravenwood's no Nazi.
Well, what did the Nazis want him for?
Obviously, the Nazis are looking for the headpiece to the staff of Ra, and they think Abner's got it.
I can't remember what happened to him. I get the feeling that he's dead, but I can't remember for sure when or how, what happened. I just know Indy goes to find him, and he just finds Marion.
They want you to get a hold of the ark before the Nazis do, and they're prepared to pay handsomely.
The museum gets the Ark when we're finished.
Oh, Tanis.
Yeah, that sounded convincing. Don't believe Marcus when it comes to this kind of stuff. I will say, I don't remember how they represent him throughout this movie, but in Last Crusade, he's represented as kind of far more bumbling than he is here.
Nearly 3,000 years, man has been searching for the Lost Ark. No one knows its secrets.
We've known each other for a long time. I don't believe in magic, a lot of superstitious hocus pocus.
This is the kind of the whole conceit of this franchise, too. Indiana Jones ends up being one of the characters that has seen the most kind of supernatural, unexplainable events, and yet still somehow he doesn't believe in it. Doesn't change him at all. I remember this scene. What I can't remember is whether or not she's cheating. I don't think she is. Karen Allen, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's start
You know, if you're bored in a village in Nepal, I guess there are worse things to bet on. I didn't even remember if he got the last shot down. And there he goes. Yeah, she might be small, but she's tough.
Hello, Marion.
Indiana Jones.
They were really going for a 30s adventure movie, weren't they? Ooh.
I learned to hate you in the last 10 years.
She doesn't seem like she's in a very helpful mood, Indy. And seems like she might have good reason.
I can only say I'm sorry so many times.
Well, say it again anyway.
$3,000 bucks. It's important, Marion. Trust me.
Indy, why would she trust you after what you've done to her? Also, she's very drunk right now. I mean, she may have drank that guy into the table, but she's feeling it. And I forgot that she was wearing it. Not a good thing probably to leave just sitting out where anybody can see it. Especially when there are Nazis about.
What do you want?
The same thing your friend Dr. Jones wanted.
She has just kind of left it sitting out on a table, which is not a good strategy.
Nobody tells me what to do in my place.
Nick!
He does do a very good job of being menacing in this movie.
I'll tell you everything.
I know you will.
I mean, it's a good way to get you to hate him right off the bat. As if being a Nazi wasn't bad enough. Indy is considerably outgunned. Quite literally. A 6-shooter revolver against machine guns is not much of a fight.
Whiskey?
I like that all he needed was a bottle to break on the guy's head, but he specified, no, whiskey, please. This guy's just stupid. It was sitting in a fire. You think you can just pick it up? What an idiot. Marion's got your back, quite literally, even though you burned down her bar.
Until I get back my $5,000, I'm your goddamn partner!
So they had a relationship that went south and he took off, and then he came back and burned down her bar. He's not exactly what you would call a positive force in her life at this point. And after this movie, we never really knew if we'd see her again. But other than Indy, she's been in more of the movies than anybody.
Cairo, city of the living.
Well, I guess that's not true. Sala has been in more than she has, I think. Who thinks of a cute little monkey as being a spy?
The excavation is enormous. They hire only strongbacks and they pay pennies for them.
John Rhys-Davies. Years before he played Gimli.
What's his name?
Well, they call him Balosh.
Indy calls him Belloc. Belloc will work with anybody that can help line his pockets, even Nazis.
The Ark. It is something that man was not meant to disturb. Death has always surrounded it. It is not of this earth.
Indy gets warned at every turn about the danger of what he's doing, but he just keeps going anyway because he doesn't buy it, or because he doesn't have a choice, or whatever. Indy is cast as the eternal non-believer regardless of what he actually sees. I'd never noticed that before. Wasn't that the same guy from the beginning? But now he has a beard? I know they've reused like stunt people and stuff, but I didn't know they reused one multiple times in the same movie. Unless I've got that completely wrong. Also, that's not something you necessarily expect when you're just walking through a marketplace. You're just randomly attacked by a group of masked men with swords. Yeah, Marion, there's lots of things you can do. Just standing there is probably the worst one, I think. It is a deterrent, especially if you know what you're doing with it. Hey, it's a pretty good weapon choice. You can still hit him with it and knock that out of his hand. Boom. She hit the bell in the carnival game. She's not having a ton of luck getting to safety. And this little monkey is a snitch. I remember hearing that was improv. That originally he was supposed to have this big fight with that guy, and I think it was Harrison that came up with the idea. It's like, no, you just shoot him. I could have that wrong. What a place to lose her. All those people just got done with their laundry, Andy. Come on. I don't remember how she ended up not on the truck. I wouldn't be hanging out with that monkey. He's part of the reason she ended up in that situation. Had a perfectly good hiding spot, and the monkey ratted her out.
I ought to kill you right now.
Not a very private place for a murder?
You and I are very much alike. Archaeology is our religion.
How many villains have given the "you and I are very much alike" BS line, trying to justify their own existence? I'm just like you. I'm just, more realistic or whatever BS justification.
It's a radio for speaking to God, and it's within my reach.
Come back home now!
Again, outgunned, but saved by children is an interesting strategy. It also is kind of strange seeing him making this argument to Indy, being kind of the other side of what I had said. Indy sees these things happen, still remains a non-believer for the most part. Belloc somehow believes in this whole thing, like what the Ark is supposed to do, and wants to use it to have this supernatural power.
Where do you get a copy of the headpiece?
Except round the edges, which were rougher. Surrounding the crystal, on one side, there were raised markings, just like that one.
I mean, I know they were going off of what they had, but they had to know that wasn't really going to be good enough to translate from the impression on his hand.
And take back one kadam.
This is when he knows they don't have the right height.
Belloc's staff is too long.
They're digging in the wrong place.
Nope.
Bad dates.
Sala, ladies and gentlemen, the original, real one. Always looking out for Indy. Saved his more than a few times.
I told you not to be premature in your communicator, Berlin.
The Führer is not a patient man. He demands constant reports.
You're hasty in how you're making your calculations about where you're digging, and you're dealing with impatient Nazis that are funding your dig. Sounds like a good combination.
Not kidding, are they? What time does the sun hit the map room?
About 9 in the morning.
Not much time, then.
Also, how would you know that your crystal is right? I would imagine it's very important, the actual stone that you're using, as far as how it's going to refract the light. Nicely done, Indy and Sala. You're so sneaky. Sala trying to buy him as much time as he can. Very dramatic. Pays to have your calculations right. If you don't, you end up financing a whole dig for an artifact when you're digging in the wrong place. Smart. Keep him from duplicating what you did. That's not a good sign. Oh, I misremembered. I thought it was actually the Nazis that were pulling him up. He had to improvise a different rope because they took his rope. I still don't remember how she got there. Someone got to her and got her out of the thing before the truck blew up.
Are you hurt?
You have to get me out of here quick.
It did not look like a person was in that basket when they set it in the truck. I just thought it was a production error.
Come loose.
I know where the Ark is, Marion.
Gonna risk her life to get the Ark. That's not right.
I'll take you out of here now. They'll start combing the place for us.
Quiet. This whole thing's gonna be shot. Back to get you.
I mean, he's not wrong. If they see that she's gone, they'll stop everything and have everyone looking for him. Yeah, you got someone walking up on you, Andy. Oh, I was wrong. I thought I saw a Nazi soldier approaching him.
I tell you, the girl knows nothing.
I'm the perfect man for this kind of work.
Yeah, the creepy guy who thought it was a good idea to pick up something that was on fire. Now has a nice little souvenir on his hand for it. You would think they would notice. I mean, I guess ultimately they do, but that's not very inconspicuous. Up on the horizon, you can see all these people digging with the sun against them. And Indy's not even trying to stay in his disguise anymore. He's out there with his hat and his whole outfit. Nazis are over at their camp just like, crazy storms tonight. Scary statues at every turn in this movie. Though I think Indy might be more scared of the snakes on the ground. I remember hearing him talk about this scene, the sheer number of snakes it took to make this area look full of snakes. Like they had a bunch of fake snakes, real snakes, all kinds of stuff everywhere.
Snakes. Why did it have to be snakes?
Very dangerous. You go first.
Remember I said about Sulla being a real one? Apparently not when it comes to snakes. Yeah.
The desert is 3 weeks in every direction.
I don't think he would just untie you if it was going to be that easy, Marion. But she had to try.
What kind of people are these friends of yours?
Nazis. Just about as bad as it gets.
Beautiful.
I would very much like to see you in it.
Wow, that's not creepy at all. Random guy objectifying a woman in his captivity.
All right. What do you got to drink around here?
Something particularly creepy about a guy who needs to play dress up with a woman. It's like, let her wear what she wants to wear.
Marion, you are beautiful.
Wow, you didn't notice that before. That dress really does some work. Yeah, it's just how he likes to spend his evenings is just dangling over a pit of snakes. Who wouldn't be all right? That scene, too. Particular way they got that to try to keep Harrison out of danger. They hit it well. That's for sure. Comment if you know how they did it. I do. I wonder how many people do. Hence the reason we saw the drinking competition at the beginning of the movie. Well, not the beginning of the movie, but the first scene with Marion. Belloc, I don't think you stand a chance, which is of course what she's counting on. I was about to say this seems like it's too easy, but then I forgot how heavy it was, especially just for the two of them.
Perhaps we'll meet someday under better circumstances.
3 weeks in every direction. I don't think she was going very far.
We meet again, Fräulein.
I think that was in the behind the scenes too. I'm pretty sure that actor improv'd that, making it look like it was a weapon of some kind, then it's just a coat hanger. That's a pretty unique type of relic if it has its own light source, which it appears to have. Either that or the Egyptians built LEDs into the bottom of that.
All right, take it up.
That's a lot of trust. Salah should have gone up first, or one of them should have, to supervise.
You would use a bulldozer to find China?
Yeah, like I was saying, they're not exactly being discreet.
What was briefly yours is now mine.
Stop it!
Oh yeah, Belloc, I'm sure you're shocked that they would do that. They are Nazis after all.
Up for me!
Yeah. A little more awareness of the surroundings there, Marion.
The girl was mine. She's of no use to us. Only our mission for the Führer matters.
It was not to be, Sherry.
You bastards! I'll get you for this!
Yeah. I'm so surprised by the dishonorable actions of Nazis. Not to say Belloc's much better.
Wave it at anything that slithers.
Oh my god, it's so Blaze is Slytherin.
Unexpected Harry Potter reference. Slytherin.
I was trying to escape. No thanks to you.
How hard were you trying?
Well, wait a...
Indy, you got no place to talk about it. You left her there. A lot of good it did you. Yeah, they're coming from somewhere.
Just get ready to run, whatever happens to me.
What do you mean by that?
He means this might not go well. I mean, you're going to topple a statue into a wall. This is not a very precise operation. I mean, he can't get away from these things to save his life. Literally. And timber! Boom. You know, they just don't build them like they used to. You know, before the Egyptian times. Or ancient Egyptian times.
Indy!
Wow. They really put all the bodies in one place, didn't they? I forgot that this scene was in this movie.
Marion! Look.
Indy's not bothered by it at all. Yeah? 1,000 years or a few minutes. Can't keep Indy down for that long. They didn't even get a chance to get out of there.
Let's toast our success in the desert. To the Ark, when we are very far from here.
I mean, at least Belloc is smart enough not to celebrate too early. Good plan, Indy. Got noticed pretty much immediately. By a mechanic with a big wrench. Ooh. Good shot. Not that it fazed him much. I mean, it's not enough he's in a fist fight with a guy that's considerably bigger than him. He's got to worry about getting shot, too. Oh, he did. That's Marion for you. Yeah, this is a pretty gruesome end for this guy. I mean, again, he's a Nazi, so you don't feel that bad, but hey, opportunity presents itself. Marion saved Indy from getting shot. She took out a truckload of Nazis. I mean, she's pretty much the MVP of this whole exchange. Although now she did just alert them to her presence. Yeah, Marion, you're going to need to find a way out of that plane, because I feel like bad things are about to happen. I mean, you didn't really do that. Propeller's going to do it for you. You got some good shots in. Yikes. Nazi gets chopped up by a plane. Yeah, run. I'm thinking run. Yeah, like that. Nicely done. Back in the days of practical stunts, man. Imagine if they'd screwed that up. That's not an easy reset.
Have it put on the truck. I want plenty of protection.
More than you realize.
Smoke, my friends. I'm so pleased you're not dead.
Everybody should greet their friends that way. I'm so pleased you're not dead.
Get back to Cairo. Get us some transport to England. Boat, plane, anything.
Don't tell Salah anything. I mean, it's Last Crusade, but last time, or when he told Salah anything there, he got him camels, and he wasn't happy about it. Yeah, maybe not shooting at your own guys. I mean, I don't care about what happens to Nazis, but I'm just saying it's not good strategy on his part. Boom. It took them a long time to shoot this whole fight sequence, hanging off of a truck. Oh! I think I heard that scream was also used in Star Wars. Boom. Guess who's not driving anymore? Andy. Those people worked for who knows how long to set that kind of water supply line thing up. Very rude. I wonder if they were going for something that felt kind of like this with the whole sequence in Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, the one that gets hated on because of the Shia and the trees with the monkeys thing. But like, there was still a car chase going on down there too. Somebody zigged when they should have zagged. Well, that's one way to lose a Nazi. Oh, he actually got him. Yeah, I guess somebody had to get a lucky shot off. Ooh, good shot. But it puts you in a difficult position when you having to try to keep the truck on the road and have a fight. Although that guy seemed to handle it pretty well. It's an interesting escape plan, Andy. Lucky there's not more rocks in the road. Oh, okay, I take it back about the rocks. That looks like that would really hurt. Yeah, I think there's some suspension of disbelief on that one. Ooh, right in the face. Take that, Nazi. Nazis get kicked in the face and thrown out of the truck. Yeah, let's see if you can try going under the truck. Oh, didn't go so well for as well for him. Should have been carrying a whip. Sala must have got to those people. I don't know why they would have protected him otherwise. That was pretty cool. That was pretty quick. Immediate camouflage.
Everything at last has been arranged.
Telling you, Sala's a real one.
Trust these guys?
Yes.
I've heard a lot about you, sir. Your appearance is exactly the way I imagined.
Well, I mean, he's had a hell of a day, to be sure.
Sala, that is for fire, that is for your children, and this is for you.
You better not have any more kisses for him. He's a married man. He's gonna get him in trouble.
British tar is his energetic fist should be ready.
This is the thing. I know that John Rhys-Davies is, I'm pretty sure that he's English, or he's from the UK somewhere. But Sala is supposed to be Egyptian, I think. So why does he know so many English songs? Or it seems like they're English songs.
Katanga, I got a feeling I'm not the first woman to travel with these pirates.
Yeah, they don't really put Marion in the most practical clothes for being out in the dirt and the desert and everything. Ooh, right in the face.
What'd you say?
What did you say? Like you didn't notice that you just clocked him with the mirror.
Where doesn't it hurt?
Here. Here.
This is cute, but it's a very odd form of flirting. Or foreplay, if you prefer. Oh, shocking. Well, I guess she's forgiven him. Not a lot for stamina.
Jones, we never seem to get a break, do we?
I mean, that is disappointing, but he was dragged under a truck earlier. That's got to take it out of you.
I sent my man for you. You and the girl must disappear. We have a place in the hall. Come on, go.
I can't remember. I thought he betrayed him. Now they got Marion. I mean, you also kind of can't blame the captain. They're facing down machine guns.
What about Jones?
Jones is dead.
Oh, so he did try to cover him.
I killed him. He was of no use to us. This girl, however, has certain value where we're headed. She'll bring a very good prize.
Okay. Now I remember. He's just trying to act like a scoundrel to save Indy and Marion.
We will take what we wish, and then decide whether or not to blow your ship from the water.
Oh, so you're pirates. I mean, at least the Nazis don't pretend to be honorable.
Can't find Mr. Jones, Captain. I've looked everywhere.
He's got to be here somewhere.
I found him.
Where?
There.
But I'm glad that I misremembered that. I thought the captain ended up being a bad guy. He wasn't. He did everything he could to try to protect them. His hands are tied. Time to steal a Nazi uniform. Just forget the fact that there's a Nazi in it. These are not skills that are possessed by most archaeology professors, I'm going to go ahead and say. Indy is a rare educator. Might have wanted to pay a little more attention to the uniform you were stealing. Yep. Maybe better luck with that one. Would have been funny if Indy was like kind of sizing him up, making sure he was the right size before he knocked him out.
Would you be more comfortable opening the Ark in Berlin for your Fuhrer? Finding out only then if the sacred pieces of the Covenant are inside?
I mean, Belloc does make a point. I don't think you want to open that in front of Hitler and be wrong if you're a Nazi. Although, given what ends up happening, opening it in front of Hitler probably would have been a great idea.
Hello? Jones?
Didn't even notice he's been following you the whole time.
All I want is the girl. If we refuse?
If you refuse, you're kind of stupid. You don't care about the girl. Only Belloc does.
Yes, blow it up! All your life has been spent in pursuit of archaeological relics. You want to see it open as well as I.
I don't know if he cares as much about seeing inside of it. I think that if he blows it up, he has no more leverage. This was actually kind of a dumb plan because he's now stuck. The only way it works is if they would have bought into his bluff and released Marion. All right, time for the ritual. And Belloc has a special robe just for the occasion. Antiquities thief to a high priest of some kind. Look away, Andy. And Marion. It's the only thing that will save you. The stone tablets of the Ten Commandments were supposed to be in there, weren't they? So, is it they've disintegrated or they were never there? Yeah, this is where things get pretty freaking weird. It might not be the Ten Commandments, but it's something. And I don't think it's happy. Come on, Indy. Marion, look away. Close your eyes.
Shut your eyes, Marion. Don't look at it no matter what happens.
This isn't going to be good. I wonder how Indy knew that, though. Because he was exactly right. I also like how nobody's running. I mean, you start seeing stuff like this happen, you figure some of the soldiers would start running for their lives.
Don't look at it! Keep your eyes shut!
One of the most famous special effect shots of the 80s. Yikes. That killed a whole bunch of Nazis all at once. That one in particular. Well, there's your power, Belloc. Hope it was worth it. That's convenient. Not even any body is left. It's gone. What if he had opened his eyes just a couple minutes too early, or a few seconds too early? I kind of wonder how they're going to get back. They can't carry that thing. They're out in the middle of nowhere. I guess they have to hike back.
Where is the Ark?
The Ark is somewhere very safe.
Yeah, they were doing it to get it in the museum, guys, and you knew that. Have it where people could see it.
We have top men working on it right now. Who? Top men.
I wanted to see an office with like a little sign that just says "Top Men," like in the place where they're storing the Ark.
You don't look very happy.
Bureaucratic
What'd they say?
They don't know what they've got there.
Well, I know what I've got here. Buy a drink.
You know, say what you want about Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. It's not until that movie that they start explaining what happens to anybody after the movie they're in. After this movie, we don't have any idea what happens to Marion until Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. We don't have any idea what happens to Short Round or I think her name's Billy from Temple of Doom. People just vanish and you don't know what happens to them. How many Arks of the Covenant can you store in one warehouse? Anyway, while I'm still conscious, since it's so late, let's get to the wrap-up. Well, what can you say about a classic movie such as Raiders of the Lost Ark or Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark? There's just so many iconic moments in this movie, so many things that have been replayed in montages of classic movies, of incredibly memorable movie moments, so many things that have tried to be recreated, just even on this page here. I mean, I own the Indiana Jones movies elsewhere, but I watched this one on Disney+. I'm seeing, in addition to the Indiana Jones movies, Jungle Jungle Cruise, Pirates of the Caribbean, National Treasure. All of these things that aim to have an Indiana Jones feel. Uncharted from Sony. It's not to say these kind of things didn't exist before Indiana Jones. They obviously did. Indiana Jones is born out of them. If you watch the behind the scenes of this movie, and I invite you to do so, you do get to hear from George Lucas and Steven Spielberg their theory in making this, what they modeled it after. I mentioned some of it. They had 2 or 3 different specific film references. The only specific one I remember is Humphrey Bogart in The Treasure of the Sierra Madre, in which he's wearing a very similar, like, kind of hat and very similar outfit to, I don't think he's an archaeology professor. I've only seen that movie once. I don't remember exactly the story of it that well. But it was that, but also the adventure serials of the 30s. For those who don't know, adventure serials, or cliffhangers as they often became known, were kind of like kids' adventure TV shows and things like that before there was television, or at least before television was widely available. It's not very often that you get to see the beginning of something like this, the beginning of at least a new era of a genre. This is the beginning of a new era of adventure films that would be, again, tried to be duplicated and emulated, and just everybody try to have their own version of it to whatever ability they were able. And some people did a pretty good job. There's other franchises out there that kind of exist in this realm that are entertaining, and there's a lot that really miss the mark. What can you say about Raiders of the Lost Ark? For so many of us, some of our absolute favorite movies, television shows, media in general, including this franchise, would not exist without this movie, and without it doing well, and them wanting to make more, and all the rest of it. Similar, again, going back to Star Wars. Sci-fi existed before Star Wars. Adventure movies existed before this, but something changed with Star Wars. This particular type of sci-fi didn't exist. The way they told it, this epic nature of telling the story, didn't exist that way. And even that, people have tried to emulate it and create their own version of it and get a little piece of it somehow, ever since it was created. You don't get to witness things like that very often. And watching this movie, you get to witness that. I don't know anybody who doesn't like Raiders of the Lost Ark, who likes those type of movies. It's all about perspective. You know, the things we tend to latch on to the most are the things that we grow up with, the things that really capture our imagination. It's not to say we can't have that later in life. I think it's a lot easier when we're kids. Things are more easily very exciting. We're very impressionable. And things like this leave a lot more of an impact when you're a kid. There is something about the things that are kind of your reference points for a specific type of thing, a specific genre. When you think of that genre, you think of that thing. And the nostalgia that will always be there for it. I will always have nostalgia for Indiana Jones. As I said, I didn't grow up watching this one, but I love everything with Indiana Jones. I did say during this, and I hadn't really thought of this before, the whole idea of going into temples and kind of sacred places, tribal places and stuff, and taking relics to be put in museums does have a different feel to it now. When you talk about the problematic nature of things being kept in museums that probably should be returned to the countries and the people that they belong to. But let's not dig too deep into that when we're just trying to enjoy these movies, even though that is a very valid point. I very much enjoyed watching this with you this evening. Thank you for being here and watching it with me. I'm very glad that we have started down the road of this franchise. I am very much looking forward to getting to the next installments, especially the next 2 installments, which I am obviously even more familiar with, Temple of Doom and Last Crusade. Temple of Doom is one of the 2 movies that is the reason the PG-13 rating exists in the United States, because it was too dark. It was rated PG, even with all the stuff that happened in that movie. And then later they figured out this movie's too dark for a PG rating, but it's not quite dark enough for an R. Temple of Doom and Gremlins, PG-13 rating. Anyway, I'm rambling. I'm tired. I'm going to go get some rest. I just want to remind everybody, go have a look over at the Patreon. Everything as of the recording of this video is still free. The full-length reaction to this movie will be over there. Other full-length reactions are over there, including exclusive full-length reactions. I really hope you'll go over there and have a look. And if you would please be so kind as to remember to hit the like and subscribe buttons down here. Click the bell so you can see when I'm putting out new videos. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching this with me. I hope this was entertaining, and I will see you on the next video. Take care of yourself.